What if you could make wishes like Timmy Turner and manifest anything at any time? Well, I'm here to remind you that you actually have the capability to make wishes like Timmy Turner did to his Fairly Odd Parents and quite literally manifest anything you've ever wanted. You've just forgot how to do it. But don't worry, I'm going to remind you exactly how to do it in this video, and you should probably listen to me because I have done it to literally manifest and wish for my dream home, dream cars, and everything else in between. I've utilized these same strategies to build over 4 companies to 7 figures, so I know that it works. My name is Trey Colley. I'm a Dream Life mentor and coach, and I'm on a mission to show millions of people how to live the life of their dreams. Now, you are in the right place, so make sure to smash that sub button and leave a like on this video. Now, let's break this down, right? Everything is frequency. And your wand is simply your emitter. And whatever you tune into with your wand is what you'll get in terms of reality. So you can have anything that you want. You just have to decide, Master Potter. You just have to decide. And once you do, you can have anything. And what you should probably think of is, what do I want? You should write it down. So the first thing in making a wish is figuring out what you want. And guess what? Having desires in this world is not bad. It's actually part of the creative process of life, of having desires, having wants, and then having the capability to express and align yourself with that desire. And the way you do that is 100% through vibration. You have to become a vibrational match to that reality. And if you do, you can have anything you want. The reason Timmy Turner could always have anything that he ever wanted is because he fully believed. It was the law of assumption. He fully assumed and believed that every single time he'd make that wish, it would come into his reality. So if you want to wish like Timmy Turner, you must start believing in yourself and believing that your manifestation is on the way. Now, the way that it shows up is always magical. It's the creative process of life. You know, your inner world sets up those parts on how it's going to come into your life, but you just have to prepare for it. And you prepare for it by producing high vibration energy around you. And you produce high vibration energy through good, positive thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And when you have proper good feeling thoughts and emotions, you should have proper actions that align with that, because you don't attract what you want into your life, you attract what you are. See, that's the key secret, is that you attract what you are. So you must become the version of you that does have what you want. And that is when space and time compresses and you quantum leap into the reality that you desire. And you quite literally do this to have money, to have a relationship, to have a car, a house, anything you want, right? And it's very important that, you know, that you're having clear intentions on every single day and every single moment of what you want and what you're trying to manifest, right? So if you're looking to manifest a large sum of money into your life, you need to start having the thoughts, actions, and emotions and feelings that align with that version of you that does have that large sum of money. Looking at the world as if there's so much opportunity in this world, looking at the world like everything works out in your favor, beginning to become an expert on money, and understanding that money is just an exchange for value. So if you want to make more money, you just have to figure out how to provide more value. And then naturally that opens up the receiving channel of energy for more money to come into your life. And yes, you can manifest money in all sorts of types of ways. You don't have to just start a business. You could get fired to get a new and better job. You could even win the lottery. There's a million ways to make $1 million, but manifesting in happiness and fulfillment, right, isn't just about money. In fact, money will never just make you happy. It's about alignment of your life, and not just alignment on your life, but alignment of who you really are. So your natural gifts, your natural talents, your authentic self, your soulful self, becoming the version of you that God made you to be, so then you can come out and claim the things that God made for you to go claim. Right? It's in alignment. You got to align with that vibration, align with that frequency, align with that version of you. You see, our thoughts create our reality, and our past self created our present, and our present self can create our future, right? And our present self can create our future by having different thoughts. Different thoughts lead to different emotions, to different choices, which emit a different frequency. Again, your wand is your antenna. Anytime you decide you want to cast a wish, you want to make a wish or cast a spell, right? Your your words are like spells. That's why it's very careful on how you talk to yourself and how you talk to others, because you're quite literally casting energy. And make sure you guys are utilizing this information for good. So comment below. I vow to use this information for good. It's very imperative that we are coming together and really contributing our unique gifts to society and using them for good, because this is how we create the perfect utopia and the place that Earth was always meant to be, because quite literally it has more than what we need, and we're always able to share and give to others. And when we do, based off the law of reciprocity, more natural flow of abundance comes back into our life. So it's very essential that we're understanding these laws that govern the universe, because you'll see me mention 4, 5, 6, 7 different laws in just one video, and there's many different laws that are always in operation to keep perfect balance in this universe. And understanding in this universe, we are meant to make wishes, we are meant to have desires, we are meant to constantly contribute value, because the universe is constantly expanding, right? It's the law of expansion. And because of this universal expansion, right, there's always going to be a creative process for us to bring things and create things into our life, right? But it's important to know how this creative process works, on how we start from a desire to getting the manifestation, right? First, clear intention. Second is understanding general timeline, right, of what you want, right? Because goals without deadlines are fantasy. So no matter what type of wish that you make, if you're making a wish that says, oh, I want to go to Italy, but then 40 years go by and you still haven't been to Italy because you didn't set a deadline for your goal, because you have to reverse engineer into actionable steps, actionable thoughts, actionable feelings and emotions in order to match that vibration. And the way that you match that vibration, right, in perfect harmony every single time, is by simply figuring out what version of you has that post-manifestation, right? You have the item already, you have the money, you have the relationship, and figuring out what that feeling is. What would you feel in the moment of you going to the dealership and hopping in your dream car and driving around, going to get coffee, and people looking at you, and people that you know, old friends, old family saying, wow, I can't believe that so-and-so got that car, and so on, and that feeling, that rush, and that energy, and that flow of abundance that you get. You keep that feeling throughout the day, and that is your want and current frequency emitter. And if you hold it long enough, that car has no choice but to come into your reality. It's law. It is literally law, right? And if you don't believe me, look at your current thoughts. Look at your current feelings. How much of the day are you spending in a low vibrational state? Because this is always working. Unfortunately, this formula is always working, but right now you're putting out low vibrational energy, which is getting you low vibrational manifestations. If you want high vibrational manifestations, you need to be producing high vibrational energy. And again, you can figure out what you want, when you want it by, and then again, figure out the feeling that you'll have once you have it, and then you'll have no choice but to get to reality. And this process could take 10 minutes, it could take 24 hours, it could take 40 hours, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but you have to have faith. It's faith plus alignment, because if you don't have faith that it's going to come, you're not going to hold yourself accountable in terms of self-regulation for long enough for it to come into your life. And if you don't have faith, you're not going to be able to act upon the opportunity and intuition that your soulful self lines up for yourself, right? Because, you know, God in His creation, He's always going to know the best way for things to come into your life, right? So if you don't have faith that it's even possible, you're never going to look. And I always talk about this example in my videos. It's the red card theory. If me and you went to the store down the street and I asked you when we got there how many red cars you'd see, you would say, oh, I don't know, Trey, I wasn't paying attention. And I would say, oh, well, if I had asked you in the beginning, hey, I'm going to give you $100 for every red card you see, you would have known exactly how many. You would have said, hey, Trey, I saw 7 or I saw 8. Right? The red cars, aka the opportunity, was always there. The money's already printed. The relationship's already there. Your dream person, your dream partner, your dream best friend, your dream home, it's already made. It's already there. It's either a thought in someone's mind or it's already created, right? But it's already there and it's coming into fruition. And it's just about you claiming it and becoming a vibrational match for it. And again, this is literally a hack. And every single day, what I like to call, I play the vibrational lottery, which means I produce a high vibration consistently throughout the day that is matching in frequency with the abundant lifestyle that I want. And I know there's going to be gifts and, natural surprises along the way. And I look forward to those blessings and those gifts every single day. And I don't know how they're going to, come into my life. I don't know what shape they're going to take. But I'm looking forward to it every single day. And because of the law of expectation, right? The law of assumption, I know those things are going to come and therefore they do, right? Because everything that I do in my being is aligning with that version of reality. And you can have any version of reality. You just have to decide on what you want and emit a strong enough frequency to quite literally bend reality to your will, which is literally what is constantly happening. You're always bending reality to your will, but your limiting beliefs are holding you back because you're not willing to make different thoughts, take different actions, and have a different life, and therefore get a different reality. Of course, you're getting the same result every single time. You're having the same emotions, you're having the same feelings, you're having the same thoughts, you're having the same actions, you have the same friends. You have the same input. If you have the same input every single time, you're going to have the same output. See, as humans, we can only believe, or we can only achieve what we believe to be possible, right? So if we don't believe that our dream life is possible, of course our wishes aren't going to work. But if we make wishes as if they already affirmed into this reality and then actually take the actual steps as if it is coming into our life, it's going to work every single time. It's law. It's literally law, right? And this is the key that all the rich, successful, and happy people know, and they're utilizing this on a daily basis. They have removed their limiting beliefs. They're operating in a high frequency state. And unfortunately, now due to the way that society is currently operating, it seems like almost that the higher ups are wanting to keep us in this low vibrational state so that they can suck up all the high abundance. But in fact, that is the wrong way of thinking, because there is plenty for everyone. And everything is in a vibration, everything is energy, so we can quite literally create and have anything we want and attract anything into our life that we desire. And honestly, the more that we are able to attract in terms of money, relationships, and emitting this high frequency, the more good you can give back to the world. And then it's just constant, beautiful cycle of life. And that's the way things are supposed to be. You see, when you're in a state of lack, we don't feel like there's not enough money, or there's not enough, people or partners that are into you, or whatever it is. That is always going to be the reality you get, because that is like the process of your mind on how you're operating on a day-to-day basis. Your decisions, your actions are based on that. If you don't think the girl is going to respond well, you're not going to go up to her. And then when you do, you're already assuming it's not working out, and she can feel that energy and that insecurity, and it's going on to her, and then you always get that reality. Same with the money. You're going in and buying lottery tickets every day thinking, what, deep down you're like, oh, of course, not again. Here's not gonna, and I'm not really pro buying lottery tickets. I'm talking about, again, it's ultimately your vibration, right? But again, in the state of money, in the state of lack, what's very important is that people stay as who they are in the moment, and they never actually quantum leap into the version of themselves that has it all on how they would be thinking, operating. Again, if you're not willing to change things in your life, how can you expect things in your life to change, right? Starts with your thoughts, your belief system, emotions, feelings. And again, your emotions are like your compass on a day-to-day basis. It will always tell you what your vibration really is. If you feel bad, if you don't feel good, if your energy levels are low, what are you freaking eating? Like, what are your habits? Like, what are the things that you're doing? Like, can you quite literally expect a different result if you're not willing to become a better version of yourself? Again, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. If you're not going to change things in your life, if you aren't going to strive for excellence to become the best version of yourself and operate on the highest frequency possible that God created you when He created you in His image, you don't even deserve it. And deep down you feel that way. I don't deserve it. And that's what you get. You don't deserve it. You don't get it. But the moment that you flip the switch and you start taking control of your life, you start taking control of your reality, control of your vibration, you start striving for excellence, you're becoming the best version of yourself in all aspects, because everything is interconnected vibrationally. If you don't take care of your health, it's going to be hard to feel good, right? But you can change your health by changing your vibration and making different choices there, having different positive thoughts. Your body is so powerful. It has the capability of even healing itself. I mean, if you ever cut yourself or you get a scab, right, you can heal yourself. There's so many miracles happening on a day-to-day basis that we quite can't understand yet with our 100-year-old science. We're constantly in a journey of truth, and it's very important that we're constantly being in alignment with the version of ourselves that has it all. And quick reminder, right? Your brain is the most powerful device in the world. You already have that in your favor. Your brain is almost like your wand, right? Your brain is literally For instance, the most powerful device in the world takes around, let's just say, 80,000 processors to run it, and that's probably equal to 1 second of normal brain activity. Just to put things in perspective here, so if you start asking your brain more questions, you're gonna get more answers, and I highly recommend getting to know yourself a little bit more, because the more you get to know yourself, the more alignment you're gonna be in your highest unique vibration. Again, that's going to align money with, for instance, your purpose, your passions, and then things are gonna be so enjoyable that money comes naturally because you're always operating a high vibration, because nothing feels like work, everything's in flow state, and when things are in flow states, things come naturally into your life, just like a river, right? Just like the water flowing to you. When you start to align different aspects of your life, from the health to the wealth, to the mental, to the spiritual, to the physical, and everything in between, financially, that's just gonna be the natural compensation of that alignment, right? Money is just an exchange for value. So the more natural value that you're contributing to society, of course, the more money you're gonna make, and that money is gonna be able to let you make a lot more wishes, right? So what I really recommend here too is not just having clear intentions, setting goals, and making these type of wishes and becoming that version of you and staying in that high state of feeling as if you already have it, right? And removing the limiting beliefs. Another thing that I would recommend is aligning yourself with the version of you that's the real you, your soulful self, your authentic self, and then writing down, for instance, what your natural gifts and talents are, what the world needs, and really combining those two things, figuring out, okay, what kind of is in the middle of that, right? What does the world need, and what are my natural gifts and talents? And then what are you passionate about, for instance, on a third row? And then if you combine all three of those things, you'll see the overlap, and that's what you should go for. Whatever you like to do for free is pretty much what you're passionate about. And if you become a master of that and go all in, which is really deep down probably what you want to do, money is naturally going to be a byproduct of that, because you can't become a master in something and not be compensated for it. It's just impossible, right? I mean, I've never heard of anyone that, dedicated their life to science or karate or whatever it is, a sport or anything in between, and didn't get compensated for that. I mean, when you become the best at something, and again, you are meant to be the best at something, you're called to do something, right? Then of course the money is going to follow you. But at the end of the day, you have to take the right actionable steps to get there, right? God will lead you, but if you don't steer the ship, you're not going to go anywhere. And the biggest problem and the biggest mistake that people make in their life is they simply just don't know where they're going. They simply don't know what they want. If I went up to 1,000 people in the grocery store and said, hey, what do you want? What's your dream line? Describe it to me in detail. They wouldn't even know the details. They wouldn't know the details of their life. And because of that, they're just like a sailboat setting out to sea with no X marked destination, just going with the wind and current around them, never really hitting that fulfillment point in their life, never really finding their purpose, never really accomplishing the life that they always knew was possible deep down in their heart. Because guess what? God wouldn't give you dreams to torture you. And you have to have that faith, right? I am, affirm it, affirm the new reality, figure out what you want, figure out the timelines, and then become the version of you that has it all. My name is Trey Colley. I'm a Dream Life mentor and coach. And if you want to see more content like this so I can help you live the life of your dreams, make sure to leave a like and smash that sub button. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, make sure you fill out the application form below. Remember, I'm wishing you guys the best, and I'm sending you love your way. Go out and make your dreams a reality.